Gentlemen, I would say take your seat, but there's not a seat left in the house. That's beautiful. Good evening and welcome to City of Homestead City Council meeting here Wednesday, January 18th, 2012, now at 5 minutes till 6 in the evening, 790 Homestead Boulevard. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Fairfield Foreman.
Here.
Councilman Maldonado.
Present.
Councilman Shelley.
Here.
Councilwoman Warman.
Here.
Councilman Williams.
Present.
Vice Mayor Burgess.
Here.
Mayor Bateman.
Here. The invocation will be given tonight by Reverend Dr. Charles R. McCormick, pastor of the Gospel Fellowship Church on the Move for Christ. The Pledge of Allegiance will be given by Councilwoman Patricia Faircloth McCormick, and our police explorers. Please rise.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Councilmen and women, let's pray. Grateful Father, we come before you this evening, giving you thanks, Lord, for everything that you have done. We take advantage of this opportunity that you have provided for us to assemble ourselves together to work out differences, Lord, as well as give honor to each other. We pray, Father, today that the representatives of each community, Father, make sound decisions that will benefit the community. We also pray, Father, for each other. We're one team, and there's no I in team. As we come together, I pray that we make sound decisions that will benefit us all. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Pastor. And let us keep in mind Kevin Camacho and Luis Hernandez, who recently were in the sinking of the cruise ship in Italy. They are Homestead residents. Thank you.
Would you please join me in honoring our nation's flag? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Okay, we're going to open up with public comment, and we're going to keep it to 2 minutes since we have a really beautiful turnout. So, first person, please step up and state your name and address for the record.
My name is Lissa Schlichter, and I live on 3140 Fairways Drive in Homestead, Florida. And Ellen Martin, 2565 Fairways Drive, Homestead. We, the citizens here of Homestead in Florida City and the surrounding areas, are here for the creation of a local animal shelter in conjunction with the Miami-Dade County Shelter that will service our Homestead, Florida City, and local areas that are in dire need. We need your help. Our intent is to present our plan to City Council next month in February at the City Council meeting. And we're here with petitions looking for names and numbers and support. And we have clipboards and information to pass out. Please see us outside if you haven't already. Thank you.
Thank you, and I know that Mrs. Schlichter is very passionate about at these animals that are wandering the street. And it's no hidden secret, yes, she is my neighbor. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Jim Baumer with Homestead Rodeo Association. Want to invite everyone to come out to our rodeo. It's the 63rd annual. We're one of the oldest annual sports events in South Florida. A lot of tradition here, and we got a lot of great events lined up for you besides the actual rodeo, which is the 27th, 28th, and 29th. We've got a family night over at the Pavilion on Wednesday the 25th. That's free. It has the Little Britches Cowboy and Cowgirl contest, some line dancing, the coronation of the rodeo queen. It'll be a fun time. Please come out. It's free. Thursday is the Buck Off. That's always a real fun time. Come to ride the Mechanical Bull. There are a lot of teams. There's a big rivalry in town here. That's always a great time, too. Admission for that is free. If you want to ride, there's a charge for that. But that's also great. And Rodeo Bingo is also happening. That's benefiting 2 local charities. And then we've got the performance on Friday night is Tough Enough to Wear Pink. It's for Susan G. Komen. We're raising breast cancer awareness. That's always a great time. Wear your pink shirt. It's a great time. We've been doing that for probably 5 years now. Judy is a big supporter of that. We thank you for that. And then Saturday is the regular National Patriot Program. It's a tribute to our military. The actual parade, which is 11 o'clock downtown, is also a military tribute. We're going to have the Coast Guard Auxiliary on hand as our charity, and we're going to be doing a really nice military tribute with the Singing Miamians of Pinecrest. There's 11 singers will be singing live in the arena for that. That'll be awesome. And just the sport of rodeo is a real exciting event, and we're going to have 2 bulls that bucked at the NFR, which is the Super Bowl rodeos, if any of you watch that on TV. But 2 of those bulls were out there in Vegas, and they're going to be in our arena, so it's a real fun time. So please come out, look on our website, homesteadrodeo.com. All the info's on there, and have a good time. We hope we have good weather, and we'd like to see you all out there and invite the council out there and have a good time with us. And thanks to all the volunteers that help. A lot of people help us put on this rodeos. Homestead Jackpot Rodeo, Homestead Main Street is helping us with the Little Britches, the Posse, the Trail Riders. There's a huge equestrian community down here that come and help us put this thing together. It's not just us. So thanks to all those people that help us out, and come and have a good time with us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening. My name is Yvonne Knowles. I'm the Director of Homestead Main Street. Our location is 43 North Chrome Avenue. Thank you very much, City of Homestead. We are strong supporters of the rodeo. We're working with them to put on the Little Britches. That's January 25th. We're looking for anybody who's interested in having their children be part of that. Please go on the homesteadrodeo.com website and sign on and send an application in to me. I'm collecting them right now, and we would like to have a great showing of children in the 3 age categories, boys and girls. So please connect with the Homestead Rodeo website. Also, Main Street, on February 11th, we're bringing back Homestead Al Gusto. The food trucks are coming back to Homestead. We've got a great show. We've got the Chef's Challenge all organized. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got some amazing talent coming down. And we also have music on the stage. The Chef's Challenge is going to be very interesting. And we've got a great display from the the growers of the Redland are really contributing some amazing vegetables and fruits for us for the Chef's Challenge. So it'll be a lot of fun, starting at 6 o'clock on February 11th, which is a Saturday, and going until 11 o'clock. And our next event is February the 23rd, and that's the Biscayne Everglades Greenway Bike Festival. I'm sure Councilman Waldman will be talking about that further also. But that's our big bike ride. It's a major fundraiser for Homestead Main Street. So if you're interested in riding, please go on www.active.com and register for the ride. Thank you very much, Mayor and Council. Appreciate the time.
Question. Don't go away.
Yes, sir.
Are we going to do some type of ribbon cutting for the renovation of the old City Hall during that time?
Sir, we were trying to organize everything around that, but because the Augusto is such a crush of people, we figured it's going to get lost in the excitement of the evening. So we thought we might push that to March and have a special event around the opening of the museum and the ribbon cutting from the Homestead Main Street. We're working with Dade Medical College. They've just opened up their Roost Cafe, and Subway would all like to join. So we're thinking we'll put one big event on Chrome Avenue with the new things opening up on Chrome, and share the event with the other two organizations.
Mayor?
You don't think it's a great time to showcase that with the hundreds of people that'll be there?
We will definitely be open, but as far as having a ribbon cutting, it's up to you, sir. If you want to have it, we'll put a ribbon across and we'll cut it.
I just thought it was a perfect opportunity to get everybody's attention that, one, we have the museum there, and two, it's been totally renovated.
I think we're having a ribbon cutting on the night of Homestead El Gusto. Thank you very much.
I'll be there. Okay.
Yes, if I may. About 6 to 8 months ago, I announced that we're going to be 100 years old in 2013, and I know Miss Sahara over here, she worked on that project as well. She started working on that. But we have a lot of ideas, and I've been working with Main Street, and I've been working with our Parks and Recs, planning it. So I think Mayor Bateman has a really good idea. We could do the ribbon cutting that night with all those people and announce that this from March forward, because we're looking into it. I asked for going to look into it to see exactly which month we were incorporated. So, and we think it was March or April. So I think, Mayor, you have a really good idea to do the ribbon cutting that night and announce that, you know, in 1 year we're going to be 100 years old, and that would encourage them to come back to all the events that hopefully we will be having this year, working up to the 100th year anniversary.
Great. Mayor, may I have, with your indulgence, I have one more event I'd like to bring up for the public since I have the camera. The March 10th, we have the Antique Automobile Club of America, and I have the president of the Antique Automobile Club of America Southeast Chapter, Mr. Norman Cass, up in the audience. Norman, you want to raise your hand? This is a huge car show. It's a juried car show. Some of the most beautiful cars come down to Homestead. Their last show, they do the Art Deco car show, and they're in Coral Gables, and now they're coming to Homestead March 10th. It's a big, big deal for us, so we're hoping the public will all come out and see some very, very beautiful cars on March 10th. Thank you so much.
Thank you for all you do.
My name is Ed Powell, 745 Southeast 18th Lane at Homestead, too many places. I want to announce a couple, so much going on in Homestead, it is really exciting. And I'm involved with the Military Affairs Committee out at the base. It's part of the Florida City Chamber of Commerce. If you haven't been out to the base, or you're not familiar with any military, the Air Force Base is on fire out there. They're bringing in active military. South just announced a 250,000 square foot building, and the reason I'm here is we have a meet and greet that we hold once a month. It's going to be January 27th. It's at the base. It's free. We have sponsored events, and we've had over 200 people at those events. Free hors d'oeuvres, reasonable prices. We have a number of the mayor and other council people that are members of that MAC as well, and they've been to those functions. So you're all invited, 27th.
Ed, well, let me excuse just 1 second. And while you're talking about the military, how much do you know about the mini mall?
Mini mall.
There's a mini mall being built at Homestead Air Force Base.
Well, there's so much going on.
I thought you
commissary, mini mall.
Yes, mini mall.
It's amazing. Next, just west of a little bit, 100 Northwest 7th, the Power Squadron building. Once a month, the third Friday of the month, we do a fish fry. It's $10, fresh mahi-mahi, chowder, hush puppies, $10, and you're all invited to come out. That's coming Friday.
Power Squadron?
The Power Squadron. It's 6 till 9 o'clock. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ed. Next. I got to put a little plug in before you start. Remember, we used to do public comment the very last item. So some of you used to speak at 10 o'clock at night. The floor is all yours.
Thank you. I'm glad that we didn't have to wait that long. Although I have sat down at Dade County for 8-9 hours and never got to speak.
God
So
bless you.
I understand. I wanted to speak about the need for a shelter down here. These are the dogs' files that I've done by myself. Dogs picked up, spayed and neutered, microchipped, some put to sleep, some taken to Broward, some adopted out. And I understand that money is short and everything, but now Dade County's talking about spending millions of dollars to build another shelter in Doral. We don't need it in Doral. We're dying down here. People call me all the time because I'm listed on Pet Finder. I have dogs here at the gas station. What do I do? I have nowhere to send these people. And they have not. They can't drive to Hialeah at 7 o'clock at night, and they're not going to. So they're back on the street having puppies, and we know how that goes. What my pet peeve is, this is just since Christmas. These are not duplicates. These are ads for puppy sales that are at the local feed store at 170 on Chrome Avenue. This is illegal. They don't have breeder's licenses. And puppy ad after puppy ad after puppy ad. And as long as people can sell, some of them are $1,000, some are $200, but as long as nothing is done, there's phone numbers here. Go after these people. They're part of the problem. They're not part of the solution. And as I called 311, the cops came one time out of maybe 25 calls, and they said, don't worry, lady, they're going to lose pretty soon. That's not the point. The point is they're supposed to have breeder's license. We made a law. Nobody does anything about it. And so people like me have to do this.
And well, thank you for caring and being so compassionate. Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am. For the record, I need your name and address.
Nancy Little. Oh, God, I have to give my address. I'm in the Redlands, 19425 Southwest 232nd Street.
Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is George Ariano, and they call me the dog barker. You may have heard me earlier.
I've never used it. I've never had to use that.
Well, don't worry, Mayor. I don't bite, and I have had my rabies shot. But more seriously, guys, there's a lot of people out here in Green, and you don't have to be a dog lover to know that we have an atrocious problem here in Homestead. We are the dumping ground for all of Miami. And as a matter of fact, we need to, I've created an organization to unite the dog lovers and the rescues. There's dozens of people out here all over Miami that are rescuing dogs. We're all doing our bit, putting in our 2 pennies and our time and our effort, but we need to unite. We have to change the laws. We have to get these wonderful representatives that we have to work, not for us, for our dogs, because they're killing them. Every day, the ignorant people and the people who don't have a heart and who were never taught any better. All the Michael Vicks of this world that think it's okay. It's not okay, because we start with the animals and we end up killing people. And those Supreme Court judges that voted 8-1 allowing the posting of torturing of animals on the internet. I don't wish anybody to be killed, but God darn it, if one of their family members got killed by by a serial killer that started out killing cats and dogs, and when that's no longer a thrill, they got to go to people. I bet they vote differently, and freedom of speech wouldn't become so important. And animals affect our older, seniors, soldiers, kids, the whole families. There's a guy out here, Mita, you probably know. It's been a year, $3,500 reward for his American Bulldog. His wife says, my husband hasn't done anything since he lost the dog. Every day, every night, every waking moment is looking for his dog. It probably was put to fight or just taken in. So we have to decentralize the animal services, because now we get December and that one facility, the whole city's shut down. And we got to do something different. I'm starting a dog cafe to foster soldiers' dogs while they're deployed. On 192 in Chrome, I'm going to be in touch with Mita and these people and Elisa that are organized for something very worthy. But the soldiers who go to war to fight for us, we should at least be able to take care of their animal. They shouldn't have a casualty in a family before they even get on the plane. So that's what I'm doing. And
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good to see you again. Just your name and address for the record, ma'am, and Mike, yours.
Karen Labudio, 19985 Southwest 264th Street. I've never spoken at a gathering like this, but I feel so strongly about what I see in the westernmost region here. You see some in the city, but I see daily dogs, starving dogs that are eating vegetables in the just-picked fields. I see dogs running down the road in a direction the car went that dropped them. I see dogs patiently waiting by the side of the road, thinking their owner is going to come back. Every nurseryman, and the nursery industry is large in Dade County. Every nursery inherits all the born-to-dumped dogs, and depending on their policy, many of the nurserymen are sympathetic, but some of them say no. Nobody feed them, and then some soft-hearted workers risk their jobs to give them little bits left over from their lunches. It's a terrible situation. It's just heartbreaking what's happening here. And we get excited about rodeos and other events, and I'm not picking on rodeos, but there's the animals that can't speak are depending on us to speak for them. Please consider this situation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Just your name and address.
My name is Mirta Maltes, 33501 Southwest 197th Avenue, Homestead, and I'm also a law enforcement park ranger at Everglades National Park for the past 16 years of my life. And the past 2 years of my life, I dedicated myself to rescue dogs in the field, in the park and outside in the agricultural field. Last year, I rescued over 170 dogs, networking with all wonderful people, different organizations from here all the way to Sarasota. It's a mega problem what we have. I rescue dogs. You know, I feed dogs in the fields, and 2 weeks later, I find them dead in the streets. I find them in the nurseries starving. I find them abandoned in houses. And there's no resources here. We need the shelter, and we also need the spay and neuter program. And I hope that you please consider our plea. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next.
Hi, my name is Marcia Buste. I live in 18351 Southwest 202 Street, right in back of Coffee's Country Store. I guess everybody knows where that is. And where I live, I see stray animals all the time, and I rescue anything. If anybody finds possums, get my number. I love possums. I rescue them all the time. I rescue dogs. I rescue cats. Whatever. People know who I am by now. I'm the pot-bellied pig lady, the one that came on TV, that won the pig fight. I don't know if anybody saw me, but I came out in Channel 6, Channel 4, Channel 23, and Channel 51. And I'm very passionate about animals, and the most horrible thing in the world to see is starving animals just everywhere, all over the Redlands. We are the place where animals get dumped. So it would be so wonderful to have a beautiful shelter here where we can house and care for animals, and there's so many animal lovers out here in the Redlands that I'm sure there'll be more than enough volunteers to help make it happen and keep it clean and safe and sound for all our beautiful friends. The more I know human beings, the more I love animals. That's just the way I feel. They're amazing. So I support this 100%, and I'll give whatever I can, and mainly all my energy, because I just have so much energy and, you know, so much passion for animals that, you know, that I'll do whatever I can to help. So please support this wonderful cause.
Thank you so much. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Jana Sheeter. I live in Palmetto Bay. My address is 15755 Southwest 86th Avenue.
Welcome to Homestead.
Thank you. I actually just wanted to take this time to say thank you to everybody for showing up
And I am so impressed at the turnout of your meeting. This is the most amazing, most passionate group of people. I would dare say, boy, I would love to move to Homestead. Because you guys really care. Thank you so much. I've got a clipboard. If anybody wants to sign, please grab me. I've got a pen. And I highly, highly support the animal shelter here in Homestead. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next. Yes, please. Please.
Could I get Mrs. Slifter to come back up to the podium?
I don't think she's ready.
The first woman that spoke, Mrs. Slifter.
Lissa Slichter.
Okay. Thank you. I'm passionate about this too. My wife helps run a organization here in town called This Is a Dog. And I asked her, and we weren't quite sure, are you guys asking us to get the county to build a shelter down this way, or you're asking the city to build one and staff it, or what? We weren't quite sure.
Well, we'll take any.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah. We would love to have the Homestead area donate a land, building, land, warehouse, whatever that we can convert. We thought, Miami-Dade has a vet tech program on their college campus. Why can't we incorporate that into our shelter for resources? Whatever we can take. Next month, we're going to come to the table with a plan with some viable options. But we do have a ton of volunteers to staff it. If they could give us a couple key people, maybe the county could contribute some key staff. We could match it and support it with volunteers, maybe incorporate the Vet Tech College-Dade program. It's a 2-year program on the campus here. There's a lot of ways we can come to the table with grants, foundations. We can go to the high schools and educate the children. That today I met two that didn't even know what spay and neutering was. They spoke, great English. They're teenagers and didn't know what spay and neutering was. But we can educate. We can provide low cost or free spay and neutering. We can go out into the communities because they cannot come to us, obviously, and it's too far inland.
Okay, you answered my question.
Okay.
I didn't know if you guys had
Sorry.
a specific plan yet or not.
We're just asking for consideration. We'll come up with some options and whatever we can all do together.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor,
Yes, please.
I'm sorry. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Judy.
As you can see, I've got your green on.
Thank you.
My husband is a retired veterinarian, so I certainly understand the love of animals. But I want to make a suggestion to you that you, in this month's period of time, that you contact the county commission and the mayor of Dade County, because if in fact they are already planning a site in Doral, perhaps we could maybe grasp that one and bring it further south. Because
That's a great idea.
And you have to show up in numbers just like this at the commission meeting, because we have 2 commissioners that represent South Dade, and that's very important that you do that.
We got these people together in 5 days.
I know you did.
You give us, 4 weeks, we will,
Look out.
yeah.
No, I'm just making that suggestion to do that.
Yes, that's on our plan, and yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Hello, I just want to tell you, I'm from the Sarasota-Bradenton area, and I support, and so is Deb, everything that Merida is doing. It's spread all the way up to where we live. I've had a organization, and we donated food, almost 3,500 pounds of food down here and it's a great thing, and, you know, we'll do anything to support it. We just want to know you guys to know that spread as far as up by where I live.
Thank you. And please, your name and address for the record, so we'll have that. Is that possible?
My name is Debbie Capobianco, and you want my full address?
Yes.
It's 5211 21st Avenue West, Bradenton, Florida, 34209.
Well, thank you
Okay.
for making the trip.
And this is Bev. We both came together.
Yeah, Beverly Smith, 4713 13th Street West in Palmetto, Florida. And I reiterate that we're actually trying to bring dogs from here up there, so that they're not destroyed. And we've been all day looking at all the dogs that are being fostered here, and it's sad. There's a lot of dogs dying
Well,
out there.
thank you for your
so-
passion and caring.
Mhm. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Councilwomen, and men. We just want to thank you for helping us. We're Sarah's daughters. I'm Lillian Mens. I live at 1201 Northeast 40 Road, Homestead, and I've been living there for 6 years. And my colleague here.
I'm Hattie Monaghan. I live in Sky Vista. I've lived there for 19 years, 20 years this coming May. No, we're just here today. This is Sarah's Daughters. We're representing Sarah's Daughters. This is Lillian. She's the president of that organization. And she's going to tell you a little bit about the organization and why we're here.
Yeah, we are women that we get together, we pray for women, we pray for the city, we pray for our families, and we reach out to the women that are suffering in the community, like single moms or widows, and during holiday times, these people are lonely, you know, for companionship and whatnot, and then we try to raise funds and give them gift certificates, and we have events like conferences. So we invited all women. Our spiritual leader is Dr. Ted Greer. We meet at his church the first Saturday of the month, and when we meet, we really get together and pray for the city, pray for our cabinet, we pray for our country, and we just pray. We're just thanking you for the support you gave us during Christmas when we were doing our fundraiser to give the gift certificates to those women that are really suffering. And with your help, we were able to serve 9 families, because our goal was 6, but you helped us to exceed that, and we thank you very, very much.
It was my pleasure to donate. Thank you. Okay. Any other public speakers? Well, let me recognize a few people under the public comment, and that's Nazi Sierra, former city councilwoman, and Ken Nelson, former city councilman. Okay. No further public comment. We are going to move into the additions, deletions, and deferrals. If council permits, I'd like to move items 14, 15, and 16 just above. I feel it's a good time to mention it now, above 9, which are quasi-judicial situations. I'd like to move 14, 15, and 16, which are just general discussions that we should be able to get through very quickly. We'll move that just above 9 and move on with the agenda the way it is. That also, excuse me, one other item, Southwest Advisory appointee. That person is here, and I'd like to move it forward to would be item 9 now at this point, and we'll move 9 down. Do we have any objections to that? Okay. Thank you. Any additions, any deletions? No? Deferrals? I think we had one, did we not? No, I'm sorry, that was under special presentations, Calhoun and Fay, legislative update. Okay. All right, then let's move to item A. Richard, you want to read the resolution?
We first need a motion to add that item to...
Motion to move that on, please.
Move it.
Move it. Second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Thank you.
Resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, providing for an extension of the permit deadline as defined herein and authorizing city manager and city attorney to take all actions, execute all documents necessary to implement the extension of the permit deadline, providing for an effective date.
Okay, staff report? Does there need to be a staff report? Doesn't need to be, we'll move on. Okay. Questions or comments from council? No questions or comments from council on item A? Okay, Madam Clerk, roll call for that item A. Roll call for item A.
Addendum 1.
Addendum 1A.
Councilwoman Wallman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fairclough McCormick?
Yes.
Councilman Shelley?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Okay, the second addition is the Sally Woods Memorial. We need a motion to add it onto the agenda.
Move it. Second. Okay. All right, it's on and vote. Staff report, do we
We
want to
need a
discuss?
vote on adding it to the agenda first.
Okay, motion to move it on. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it's on. Staff.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. In our CAL meeting, we had a suggestion for the mayor to maybe look at something for Sally Woods Memorial to remember her as a city employee, since she was a dedicated employee for 37 years and also was part of the Parks and Recreation Department's family. We looked into the Homestead Pavilion, which is close to the Homestead Rodeo, and we thought that maybe we can name that after Sally Woods with a rock memorial with a bronze plaque with her picture on it.
I'll move it, Mayor.
Beautiful. Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Dennis. Do us something special, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, special presentations. Did I miss anything? Special presentations. SOS Police Department 4th Annual Heart and Soul 5K Run presentation. Who's here from SOS? Yeah. Sandy and Annie? How far did you walk yesterday?
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. We'd like to take this opportunity to announce our 4th annual 5K walk, run, crawl, whatever you can do. The funds that are collected in this event go to victims of violence, and violence takes many forms. We serve approximately 1,800 victims per year. This is victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, child abuse, child neglect, and human trafficking. This year we're holding it at Lele Sports Complex. They've been very generous in hosting us. And as I said, it's a 5K run, walk. We don't care what you do, how you get there. Just please come and participate. It will be a fun event for all. We guarantee it.
Sandy, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions from council? Okay. The next item on the agenda is Dr. Joe Von Lauer. This is a resident of Homestead who took the initiative and the time and spent the effort to bring forward a friend of his, Frank Shaw, who's actually now done some great things for us in the line of signage along the Turnpike, which we've had very little signage in the past for our downtown historical district. Dr. Von Lauer.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joe Von Lauer, and I live at 2705 Augusta Drive, Homestead, 33035. The mayor and the city council are obviously great proponents of doing everything they can to raise the image of the city and to make it as inviting as possible for passers through, and we don't want any passers-by. We want them here. So the mayor came to me last fall, and he asked me if there would be any possibility of making arrangements to get some signs to put in various key places around and about the city, including the Turnpike at the exits, so that when the people came by, they could be directed to the historical district
of which we're most proud these days. And you've all been down there and you see what's happening there, and we all love that a lot, and we want all of our tourists to be able to take advantage of that wonderful part of the city. So along with the help of Frank Shaw from DOT, he graciously was able to arrange the manufacture and production of the signs up in Lakeland, Florida. And the project is well underway, and we're expecting to see these signs in place probably early spring. So we're looking forward to that.
Thank you so much. Okay, Mr. Maldonado. Laptops for education.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. As everyone knows, I chair the Education Committee with the City of Homestead, and last year our committee members, we got laptops for the schools that we're working with directly in the feeder pattern here in Homestead. Our committee felt that we wanted to do everything possible to help our students in our schools to be more successful. Last year we did a laptop giveaway to the schools that we're focused on, and what I'm going to do is we're going to repeat what we did last year. We were able to get the laptops for these feeder pattern schools, and today those schools are here represented. I'm going to call them forward. What I want to do is I'm going to give them a few minutes so they could share what we did, and by us giving us the laptops, how did it affect, how did it implement it, how did it affect the school, and how did it help out the kids last year. And with the success stories that you're going to hear today, we want to continue to do that, and I want to call those schools forward. From Homestead Senior, Ms. Rodriguez, last year we gave them 2 laptops. If you please come forward, and we're going to give you the laptops again. And that's 2 laptops that we have for them. We have from Camel Drive Elementary, we have Julie Newfer. She's here, and if you recall, Ms. Newfer was here just last month as our local Teacher of the Year. From West Homestead, Dr. Columbus Williams is here, sir. Come forward, and he gets they have a laptop. Camel Drive Middle, do we have a representative here? Ms. De La Penella? Asaroto, okay. On behalf of Camel Drive Middle School, and from Laura Saunders Elementary, Ms. Denise Ferroni, you here? She's not here either? Ms. Harris? Okay. And what I'd like to do is, I'm going to call at least the 2 representatives. I have one from Camel Drive Elementary, which Ms. Julie Newfer come forward, and I like to put people on the spot so they can share a little how they've implemented it. And after that, I'll call one of the other teachers. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Julie Newfer. I'm the reading leader at Campbell Drive K-8. It's not an elementary school anymore. Happy New Year. By the way, I was here last month. Happy New Year to everybody. At our school, what we decided to call our award the Elvis Maldonado and Education Committee Award. We told the students that the students who had the best overall achievement in citizenship and academics, that they would be eligible for a computer laptop. Of course, we had Lori Just was a student. She didn't have any computer at home, and it is very difficult for a child at home to nowadays do homework if they don't have a computer. They need to go on Google. They need to research. They need to go on dictionary.com. They don't use dictionaries like we used to use. So it does help the students very much at home, especially if they don't have any computers at home. This year, the students are already asking, is there going to be a computer giveaway? What do I have to do to get it? And I said, well, we'll see. So they're excited. I'm taking back the computer. I want to thank you and thank the Education Committee. And I look forward to seeing. I'm sure the students can't wait to see that on TV. So thank you so much, and have a good evening.
Thank you.
And I'm also the representative from Homestead Senior. Will come up and share a few words.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Corey Rodriguez. I am the proud and new principal of Homestead Senior. When I heard about this, I was very pleased and anything for my children. And my vision for the computers was exactly what happened last year. It was raffled to my children. I'm sorry, they're high school, but they're still my kids. And through attendance of Saturday Academy, it was raffled to the students. And as we are moving forward and increasing the number of computer labs in my school and the usage of computers, to make them productive individuals in this technological world, that is what we are looking at doing again. I want to thank you very much because I know my students have earned it, have deserved it, will deserve it, and they will be very pleased. So thank you very, very much.
Mr. Maldonado, before you continue, I would just like to publicly recognize Ms. Corey Rodriguez in front of everyone and congratulate you in your school from rising from a D to a C this year. We know that the best is yet to come, so hopefully next year you'll rise above C level and aspire to B, become a B. Congratulations.
Thank you, Councilwoman Patricia Faircloth McCormick. Listen, we are trying whatever we could do to help our students here in the city of Homestead. I've said time and time again that education is the building block to this great city. If we have great schools and a great education system, we're going to have people flocking to come down to Homestead because of what great things we're doing. They like to see how our citizens, our community, our leaders are involved in making a difference in the kids. And the kids are our future. So this is what little that we can do. And we're going to continue to do more and more of this so we can be effective in the schools and continue to make a difference in our children's lives. We're the ones who set the stage for them. So we have to do whatever possible to help them. And again, I thank everyone for being here today. I would like to hear the same success stories that we heard this year, next year. And again, we will continue to work with these schools as a feeder pattern. The idea here is to work with these feeder patterns here in Homestead, set a standard that we could take across the state to continue to make a difference in our education system. So with that, thank you very much. And ask everyone to come forward so we can have a picture.
Thank you all so much. And I'd like to recognize Councilman Maldonado and the entire Education Committee. It was just 24 months ago now that we came here as your council, and the education system was not doing very well. And today I proudly say there are 3 brand new schools in Homestead that are all top rated, and our own schools, because we care and because we participate, they have come up. And it's when people realize that you care and you'll make a difference and you'll try to make a difference is when they start trying harder. And Corey Rodriguez, thank you for what you've done so far at Homestead Senior High School. As my son attends there in the autism program, and I just say, let's keep shooting for the stars for our children, all right? Thank you very much.
Before you leave, I just wanted to recognize another one of my colleagues, Dr. Columbus Williams. He is the principal at West Homestead Elementary. Very difficult school, high migrant population. We're here for you. We're here to support you. And if there's anything that we can do to increase student learning at your school, please don't hesitate to contact us.
Thank you, sir. Neva King Cooper Golf Tournament. Mr. Shelley.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to invite former Councilwoman Naja Sierra to come up to talk about the upcoming Neva King Cooper Golf Tournament, which is a fundraiser, and what they hope to accomplish with the proceeds that they raise from that fundraiser.
Good evening, everyone. Mayor, Council, Vice Mayor, Councilman Shelley, thank you so much for the invitation. I've been working very hard with Neva King Cooper For those of you that don't know, Neva King is a school that's within our community and belongs to all of us, that really caters to very special children with very, very special needs. I know that Councilwoman Waldman has been very involved with Neva King, and I'm going to allow the assistant principal to speak on that. I've come here tonight to ask for our community to band together to help this very, very crucial time for this school. They do once a year a golf tournament. It is their only fundraiser that they do. The PTA sponsors it. This is the 17th year that they've done it. It will take place on April 28th. With a shotgun start at 8 a.m. I guess those of you golfers know what that means. I have no clue. So for more information on the school and on the golf tournament, I invite Mr. Henny Cristobal, Assistant Principal at Neva King Cooper.
Thank you, Nazi. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilwoman. Council. We had a little bit of technical difficulty earlier because we wanted to portray not just a snapshot, but a 7-minute video of our school. So I guess I'm your consolation prize in lieu of the technical difficulties. I was rehearsing what I was going to say, how I was going to say it, and how I was going to convey it, and then I realized in a nanosecond that that was not going to do me any good because I'm just going to talk to you guys from the heart. I've been there a short 7.5 years, and that's our Pandora here in Homestead. And I mean that in every sense of the word. We have 120 students that are all significantly intellectually disabled. And that is a fancy schmancy word, but bottom line is they do not have a voice in the conventional sense of the word. So if they want to communicate a need to you, they are not going to do it in the conventional way. And that's what I hope to and attempt to, I'm going to try to do here in a very short, brief period of time. A lot of us right here are sitting down, probably making some mental rehearsals of what we're going to do when we get out of here, what we're going to have for dinner. And if we get a little bit physically uncomfortable, we're going to probably stand up and walk around and stretch out. And that's things that we take for granted on a daily basis. Our students, ages 4 through 22, do not have that luxury. So if they're uncomfortable and they cannot let you know that they're uncomfortable, or they have an itch on their back and they can't reach the itch and they can't scratch it, or they can't tell you, can you please scratch my back, then what? So the golf tournament that we have, because we do obviously receive funds through the Florida Educational Finance Program, the golf tournament specifically uses the funds, and every single penny of it, for what we call augmentative communication devices. Because if they can't communicate to us, then we can't be a voice for them. So we use these funds to buy augmentative communication devices, as well as specialized equipment that helps them transition with their physical needs, physical goals through physical therapy. So I want to once again, at the risk of overemphasizing our gratitude, I want to thank Ms. Waldman for your leadership and guidance with the Little Angels Foundation and everything you've done for us. And I want to thank you also in advance for your support and your time. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you.
These children are so happy at this school. I mean, we just went, I was invited to a carnival that was put during the holiday season, and the children were doing limbos in their wheelchair. The few that were able to stand were dancing and participating. This is a safe haven for them, and we as a community need to band together to make sure that we help them get the voice that they need. They were talking about the animals that don't have the voice. These are children that don't have the voice, and we need to stand up as a community and help them out. And I encourage the mayor and council to please be a part of the golf tournament. We will leave some brochures with Ms. Sullivan, and hopefully we can encourage more community members to come out and help support our school. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If I may, you know, Sarah and other angels in the audience, until you visited this school, until you have visited this school, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. I've watched your children grow up. My goddaughter was a student there for many years. She's on there. And because of Katie, we donated what is called a sensory room, which was developed, I believe, in Sweden or Denmark, one of the Scandinavian countries. And we've spent thousands of dollars, the Little Angels. The Little Angels, we don't ever get any press, you know, because we don't do it for that reason. But that room is Katie's legacy, and it's called Katie's Place. And that's a room that costs, I'm telling you, what, $30,000, $40,000. And it's a place that the children can go and they can seek solace and they can quieten themselves down, and the beautiful lights and the hammocks and all the things. And I remember the first day that we were given a tour. It was just amazing. And the Angels, we've also bought smart boards. You know, we spent $8,000 or $9,000 on that, buying smart boards for you. Plus, there was a time when the school board let the swimming pool, which is their only way of being mobile, set for 8 months without a pump. So those children didn't have their therapy. So the Angels came in and we bought them a new motor and pump. You know, we've done all of those things, and that's our true calling, and we love you so much. I think I speak for all of the people who have attended our fundraisers and people who have helped us be able to give back from the Angels. But my heart is there, and thank you so much, and I know. And what I worry about is what happens to those children after they're 22 years of age, because that's when they get lost. That's when we lose them. So, Mr. Maldonado, as the education chair, I hope that we can look into what happens to those children, because I know what happens to a lot of them. They just get thrown into the system and they're lost, and they don't have that happiness around them. Even though they can't speak, they don't have that love and that happiness. So I think that's something that we as the Angels will also assist you with. But please play golf. I don't know how to play golf. I've worked this tournament many years. I'm a worker, but I don't know what shotgun is either. But I'll do anything for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you know, I don't know how to play golf either, but I'll drive someone around. I definitely will give a donation to the golf tournament as well.
That's all right. Actually, the next two. 3. I'll give you mine for the next meeting. You'll give me your next 2.
Okay, am I on? Is Jose here from the Olive Garden? Because I can't see him out there. All right, well, he's not here, but we'll bring him back in February. He's leaving us, but he has done so much for the community, I wanted to honor him. Miss Clara Waterman-Powell. Do you feel like coming up? You sure? She pulled her back out today. As she's coming forward, Clara is the winner of the Annual Positive Living Award. Clara Waterman-Powell is my friend, one of the first people I think you met when you came to Homestead. She serves on our Little Angel board. Her resume is phenomenal, and I just can't even begin to tell you all the boards that she served on in the city and all the things she's volunteered for and all the things that she does just from her heart. But she won this beautiful award, and this was given to her at Jungle Island. And I'm going to let her talk a little bit about the award. But I just thought it was important that we honor our citizens who absolutely go out there and just go beyond to be kind to others. So, Clara, I'll represent this to you, along with another little something from us, as you talk about what you did.
Well, I wasn't planning on speaking. My name is Clara Waterman Powell. I reside at 745 Southeast 18th Lane. One of my fellow Rotarians suggested that I apply for this, and I put it off for 6 months, till finally my fellow Rotarian at Miami-Dade Land Planning Press suggested that I apply. It's through the Alliance for Aging, and you got to be older than 60, so I'm owning up to being older than 60, folks. And it celebrates the activities that I do. And I don't usually talk about what I do, I just love doing it. Little Angels, Kapow, Rotary, well, there's a whole list of them. I was very involved with the city, Charter Review, Homestead Job Corps, a mentor for that. I'm governor of the Mayflower Society, Redland Women's Club, Elks Paw Club of Miami, believe it or not.
Look who's presenting it, sir.
Visitor Center, Toastmasters, Little Angels, lots of different things. But why positive thinking, positive living means that there's so many things you can do in this community. I moved down to Homestead about 10 years ago, and I've found a wealth of friends and things to do. And I tell you, life is good. Thank you. Oh, may I just say one more thing? Because of my husband, I can do all these things. Because he doesn't come home and say, where's dinner? Where's the laundry? He does it. He's wonderful. He drives me when I can't go. So because of my husband, Edward Powell, I can do this. Thank you.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Ann and Clara were one of our first Kindness Awards winners here in the city of Homestead for their kindness. But Clara, tonight I'd like to present to you for receiving the Positive Living Award from the Alliance for Aging, which honors outstanding individuals who demonstrate exemplary energy, stamina, dedication, and effort by making tremendous differences in the quality of life in South Florida by giving back to their communities. The city of Homestead salutes you. And it's all of our names, the mayor, and all of our names are on there. So congratulations. We're so proud of you.
I'm so glad I can do it.
We can't hold it all, I don't know.
I'll help. We can help. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. What a surprise.
Crystal, please come forward. Mayor, I'm just going right ahead here.
To the mayor, to the chair.
All right. Miss Crystal Ruiz is the Miss Miami Outstanding Teen for 2011 and 12. And she was our Homestead Miss Outstanding Teen the year before that. Crystal has done so many things, and her term is getting, or her reign is getting ready to end. And I was thinking about her the other night when I was watching Miss America, and I'm thinking, okay, when Crystal runs for Miss America, I will go to the pageant. And she's just been a doll, and I've watched her grow up. And actually, her father met me at a little get-together, and I'm the one that told him about the pageants and the scholarships and what they can do for young women, and that's how she got involved. So I kind of feel like I gave birth to her pageantry. So, Crystal, would you like to just say a few words?
Good evening, everyone. I am Miss Crystal Ruiz, Miss Miami's Outstanding Teen for the year 2011-2012. I was formerly Miss Homestead's Outstanding Teen for 2010-2011. I am 16 years old at South Bay Senior High. I'm a junior. I'm a varsity cheerleader, VPA Dance Academy Dance Team Officer, anchorwoman for our school's Buck TV, member of the National Society for High School Scholars, member of the National Society, and I'm a recipient of award for 2012, an AP honor student with the holding of 4.0 GPA. And just last week, I was honored with the Violet Richardson Award for my volunteer work in our community and a charity I started called the Crystals Care Project. I volunteer at many places here in my community and enjoy putting a smile on children's faces. Making a difference is important to me, and providing needy children with new school items and apparel will help them boost their self-esteem and make them feel good about the way they look. This is why I'm now working closely with Knee Stuff Incorporated for a week's supply of new school clothing, socks, and other items to put in the backpack to provide for needy children through my project. The day before Thanksgiving, I was able to do this thing just for 25 students at the Campbell Drive Elementary School. This was such a heartwarming experience to see how happy they were to receive these backpacks. This would not have been possible without the help of my family, friends, Mayor Bateman, Councilwoman Judy Waldman, and the rest of the council members and the many residents here in Homestead. A doctor in our community heard what I've been doing for these children and has made a donation to the Crystals Care Project for an additional 25 students for backpacks. And the Violet Richardson Award provided me with $500 towards my project. I feel very blessed, and I'm so thankful for everyone's generosity and kind heart. I am now have the opportunity to continue helping needy children through my charity, the Crystal Care Project. Thank you, Mayor Bateman, Councilwoman Judy Waldman, members of the council, and what a great honor that you have done in making my reign as Miss Miami very memorable. Thank you.
Now, are we going to run for Miss Homestead this time?
Next year.
Next year. Okay, just checking. All right. Crystal, for your continued commitment and dedication to the communities of South Florida, thank you for being selfless and giving back to the citizens and for sharing your exemplary talents. The City of Homestead salutes you January 2012. So congratulations.
And for the record, she might be Miss Miami, but she lives in Homestead.
That's right. We just ran out of pageants down here. And she was in the Macy's Day Parade. She represented us there as well, so congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Wallen. All right, the next item, we're going to move into the consent agenda. Motion to move that on? Approve it. Motion to move January 10th, 2012. Move it. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now, here's where I wanted to move discussion items forward, if I may, so we can get these quickly out of the way and get into the quasi-judicial, which sometimes take quite a bit of time. Before I do that, let me recognize 4 new employees that are here that stayed with us through the meeting. And at this time, I'd like, if you just stand just quickly and wave or say hi. Julie Richards. Julie, could you stand up? Say hi. David Hennis. David still here? Thank you, David. Michelle Lopez. Danielle Bonillo. Thank you all, and welcome to our family. All right, the first item I'd like to move, I remissed in adding the rodeo dinner dance. Every year they ask for the same waiver, which is an additional hour. Special waiver to allow the event to go on an extra hour. Again, the dance goes on until midnight, and they clean up after that until the 1 o'clock hour. Thank you. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And the next item here on this will be discussion Southwest Advisory Committee. Mr. Williams, do you want to call your...
Yes. I'd like to call up Kevin Miles. Mayor and Council, this is a gentleman who grew and lived up here in Homestead and in the Southwest area. I'll just tell you a little bit about him very quickly. He was the committee chairperson for Feed the Homeless Project. He's a committee chairperson for the Thanksgiving Food Drive, Christmas Toy Drive. And also he brings a particular skill set. He's a graduate of University of Tennessee, Knoxville, with a Bachelor of Science degree, and now I think currently attending for his Master's of Business Administration for FIU University. But he comes to us with a passion for the Southwest area in which he grew up, and I will be pleased and honored to have him serve on the Southwest Advisory Board. Thank you so much, Mayor.
Thank you. Please, Mike's yours.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin Miles. 14142 Southwest 291 Terrace. I'd like to, first of all, thank God for this opportunity. Mayor, Vice Mayor, councilmen, councilwoman, Councilman Jimmy Williams. Thank you for this opportunity to allow me to sit and serve on the advisory committee, and I look forward to working alongside all of you in your respective stations. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and we had a great discussion at the Martin Luther King Parade, and I welcome you back to Homestead.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
Now, at this point, motion. Moving on. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Let's go to tab 14, discussion item, Morgantown request. That was the USA.
Mayor, there was some confusion on this one in that we believe the direction from the cow was to move forward with this letter of support, but because it was a cow, there was concern that you couldn't give direction at that meeting. So unless anything has changed, we just wanted to make sure your decision from last week stood, and then we'll just move forward with the letter.
Any further questions from council? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Item carries. Thank you. Item 15, Alliance of Homestead LLC request for Little League expansion of schools from the City Public Arts Program. Who's here for that? Motion to move it on? Second?
Second.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, councilmen, councilwomen. Robert Cambeau, Managing Member of Alliance Homestead LLC, 2977 McFarland Road, Coconut Grove. I think before I start my remarks, this legislative exemption that staff came up with, it's not really what we would like to do. I think I'm going to give you a few remarks, and then I'll come back and tell you, I think, a way that really works better for the city, I believe. As you know, we came before you on September 21st, and you graciously granted us approval to build the charter school, Everglades High, on Maury, on 2251 East Maury Drive. Part of that approval required us to make a major contribution to Maury Drive. And I'm not really aware of any Miami-Dade public school, charter school, private school, university that has made the traffic contribution that we made. I think it's over $500,000. So obviously that had a major financial impact on the project. You know, and as you know, it's almost a $20 million project over 3 phases. We're going to hire over 90 teachers. We're going to serve 1,228 students from middle school to high school, tuition free. And so the project costs have kind of ballooned quite a bit since we started, and we were unaware of a public arts fee when we started. So I guess all we were asking of the city is, in recognition for some of the contributions we made, I think the right solution would be better served if it only recognized someone that made major contribution to traffic mitigation, or any other public infrastructure. So I would modify that resolution to say any charter school that made a significant contribution to traffic mitigation, and you guys can determine what significant is, and then I think they would have earned an exemption.
Right.
So that's all I've asked you to consider. I don't think it's fair for the city to exempt all charter schools from the public arts fee. I think that's crazy.
May I interject?
Sure.
See, I disagree with that because, and even to strengthen your case, a county school will come in and build a $20 million county school, and they're exempt from art in public places.
That's correct.
We're using the exact same dollars, maybe 30% less of what the state and the county gives a charter school, but yet we're imposing art in public place fee on them, and we don't to Dade County schools. So I think it's extremely unfair what we're doing here. So that's mine. I'll be voting.
No, and to add to that, we don't spend any state dollars to build the facilities. The facilities are privately funded.
And that's probably why, that's probably where the snafu is going to be, because you are building the building out of private money and using the dollars from the state for the educational part. I don't understand how we apply it to one education system, but we don't apply it to the other. So that's why I have trouble with it. Not even what you sold so far. So I think my argument's even better than yours.
It probably is.
Because you got to be fair across the board. Yes, Mr. Schilling.
Mr. Mayor, I apologize for my cold if I sound stuffy. The problem I have with what you're proposing is that you are already in the pipeline. And so by passing a resolution that carves out a niche for you, I feel that it's an unfair resolution. You know, I'm more comfortable with it applies across the board to all entities equally than to have you say we did the 500,000 improvement, let's carve a niche for the 500,000 or significant improvement.
Or anyone who does
Right,
it.
but the problem is that it ends up looking like it was just for you. And that's the problem I have, is it's the fairness of the ordinance as a whole, nothing with your project. Because we've spoken, and actually I think that my understanding is you have some proposals to do art on your site that would qualify you and exempt you anyways from this issue. So I think it would solve the problem.
But not without increasing the cost. We looked at it, and it's hard to, you know, what we're trying to do is get some relief financially.
I understand.
And those things don't give us any financial
Right, which I understand, but the problem I have with what you propose is that now it looks like we are taking you as an applicant, we're making code for you, excuse me, that benefits you, and is, you know, will be applied later in the future, but it doesn't look fair on its face. And so for me, I'd be more comfortable doing a across the board, from this point forward, we're going to exempt all agencies or something. But again, to me, there's an issue there of when do we apply it, you know, because you're already in the pipeline. We have other charter schools that have already paid the fee. Do you now have a competitive advantage over them?
They pay any traffic mitigation fees. That's.
And I agree. I'm very thankful for the traffic mitigation that you.
I'm not complaining about it, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm saying is we're only considering one side of the equation,
Correct.
not the other side.
And so I concur with what you're trying to accomplish. I have a problem with the way that you propose it, and that I don't think I can support carving a niche out for one group. That's just not the way I like to do things. I'd rather do it fair across the board. It applies equally. Everyone is on the same playing field. That's fine. It's a policy decision as a whole. But just for the record, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, may I? Unless I'm interpreting this incorrectly, I see here in our city code, chapter 32, article 5, it states that Everglades Charter School is seeking a legislative exemption from this program, which would generally be applicable to all future K-12 public, private, and charter schools. So I don't want to make it seem like public schools get away with paying the public's art fee and charter schools or private schools have to pay, but it clearly states this in the city code, unless I'm just getting caught up in semantics.
But I think if Richard will explain that further to us, we can put it in the city code all we want. Dade County does not have to pay it. We don't inspect on them. We don't engineer on them. We don't do anything on them. They run their own show. Show me when it comes time, pray to God we do get another public school in the county. I'll guarantee you they don't pay. They will not have to pay. They're exempt from it.
The comment that I would add at this point is that I do think that if he's looking for an overall legislative exemption, that we have another charter school that you approved 2 months ago, maybe a month ago. And I do think that Councilman Shelley's right regarding if the council is interested in exempting charter schools from this, then I mean, all we're looking for is direction at this point, is to say, okay, figure out a way so that charter schools are exempt and let us work out the details of it. But we don't particularly like the approach that the gentleman's taking, without any offense to him, but we just think that it doesn't seem fair to, and it might be subject to challenge, to just carve out an exemption for this one person, where a month ago another charter school was approved by the council, and he's got to pay, or they have to pay. And so if the intention of the council is to exempt charter schools from this requirement, then just give us the direction to do that and let us work out the details of how you want to do that.
But I think it's educational facilities in general. When they build a new college in this community, we're going to hit them with a public place.
If you want, whatever the direction of council is, if you want to exempt educational facilities, then just tell, whatever, as broad as you want to make it, we can do that. So, but you just need to give us some direction on it.
So in essence, basically we'd have to make a motion,
just a motion
with language that would give this exemption or right to all schools coming forward. From here on out, I mean, what's done in the past, it's already done, but moving here forward.
The problem is that, I think the problem you're facing with this gentleman is if you're trying to give him some relief, then from this time forward is not going to help this gentleman. He's already pulled his building permits. We have his, in this case, it's a $25,000 fee. We have it in escrow that the city required before he could pull his building permit until we could get direction from the council, but we didn't want to hold him up. So you've got to tell us that from us, that this is what we want to do. Tell us whether the date that you want to do it, effective January 1st, whatever the date is. But that's the kind of, from here forward, does not solve this gentleman's problem.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir. Mr. Shaw.
The one thing I see, because one of the things in this ordinance that we already passed is that it does allow them to provide art in lieu of the fee. I mean, if they put art on their project, then it qualifies and there's no fee paid. And I don't see, I'm trying to just quickly glance through it, but in those sections, it doesn't look like it qualifies it under a price. It doesn't look like it has to equal the same fee. It just has to be art. It's got to be deemed art by the committee, and it's got to be approved by the committee or the council as art to satisfy their requirement. So, am I misreading that? I mean, that's what it looks like it says to me. I don't see where it requires that the art has to equal exactly dollar for dollar. Now, that may be how it's interpreted, but either way, the solution seems to be that if we can provide art, and the goal, I think, all along for this wasn't to harm our businesses, but it was to beautify our city. And so that was why we had that in there, is that if you don't want to put money into a fee, then you can beautify your own project, and hopefully not at a higher cost, but just to make it beautiful. And I think that would be the solution here, is that by putting art on your project, whether it be a mural or something else that maybe you've already budgeted for, you just change the colors to make it art, that it solves your issue versus...
If that would do it, I'd be more than happy to, but the way I read the code, it had to be a percentage of the total project cost, which was almost triple the fee or quadruple the fee.
Even because
if I put up a beautiful painting or do a mural, I'd run out of here as fast as I could.
There will be a cost analysis in that, and it will add up to the $25,000. It's just the way it is.
That's my point.
I was outvoted on this the first time around because I truly don't. I believe art is in the eye of the beholder. I don't believe that we should be forcing art on anyone at an expense. I just think it's wrong.
No, Mr. Mayor, this is a facility that they teach art every day to kids. I mean, they get no credit for that.
You got your art class.
I got a kiln that makes pottery that costs like $25,000. That doesn't apply because it's not art.
Mayor, I'm not sure, Mr. Manager. Did we have in our packet this pictures of art that was going to be applied? Was this the project, or was it another project in their agenda? I thought I saw some artwork that was going to be applied, and I thought it was for this one. I don't see it here now, but I know I saw it earlier.
Yeah, we've met with staff and we've exchanged some photos on scenarios, and then we went and priced the scenarios, and that's what kind of set us back a bit. I mean, there's solutions. If we want to spend money to put art, we could do that. I was just trying to get some financial relief for the project based on the contribution we made for traffic mitigation.
So would that be something that you'd be willing to work with? And of course, if we're willing to, this council would be willing to work with, that you'd apply the art into your school with that percentage or a percentage, get it into school, because the idea is to beautify, and at the same time moving forward, that we will start to look at, this council will look at making adjustments for the education systems here on out, be it both public and private school. Just a consideration for this council.
Mayor?
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I agree with Mr. Maldonado. The only thing that I don't agree with is putting a percentage, a dollar amount, because in the eyes of the beholder, one piece of art might be worth more than another piece of art. I love the idea of just incorporating the art in your school, and I just wondered, Mayor, if we could just, whatever motion Mr. Maldonado started, if we could just include all the charter schools that are in the pipeline. Would that take care of the amending that motion by saying?
What we would probably do is we would try to find a date and say from this date forward, make sure we cover the ones that are in the pipeline.
The only thing I'm concerned about is putting a dollar amount or a percentage, because I agree with Mayor Bateman. I mean, it's hard to know how much a value should be placed on. I mean, I go to the art shows and I think, okay, I like that one, but maybe my husband doesn't like that one and he likes something else. So it's in the eye of the beholder. But I think you're going to do a wonderful job, and I know that you do emphasize art. So
What the ordinance says is that if they're going to place art on site, it's got to have a minimum value of 1.25% of the total cost of the project.
It's already there.
Not to exceed $500,000. The owner shall provide documentation to the city that the art fee has been deposited into escrow account, but that's basically it's 1.5% of the value of the project.
So the other option would be just to say, just, pardon me?
Besides, it's just a very large number for a school that's struggling to get the student stations built.
So the other option
get computers, and there's a lot of resources that we got to spend money on.
So Mayor,
Soccer fields, playgrounds.
Okay, I'm in your corner now. Let me talk.
I know, I'm sorry. I get wrapped up. I apologize.
The only other option would be is that because the Dade County schools are totally exempt, I mean, they don't even have to get building permits. I mean, they don't have to do anything. They just do what they want. Then, Mayor, maybe we could agree to just exempt the charter schools, period, because I hate to get into that dollar amount and everything else. So. You'd be willing to amend your motion?
And I would agree just in the fact that we know how much money it takes for, these are our kids, these are their education. So in reference to schools at this point, for education is where we need to make sure that those dollars are going towards the school and the students and invested in there as opposed to art. Now, I'm not saying let's get away from the whole art, art in public places, but, what I'm seeing here is basically the schools have, it takes a lot of money to put these schools together, and our kids are going to be benefited. And they're going to be involved in art, but I would like to see any monies that are going into this public art project go back into the schools one way or another. So at least that would be what I would like to see. So moving forward, I guess, do we have to put a motion whether we're going to exempt the rest of all public schools or charter schools moving forward?
Yeah, I think that the right way to do this is to specifically, because we've taken the position, by the way, that in terms of public schools, that this could apply. And so I think if you you have to treat public schools and charter schools the same. So I think if you want to exempt this, the direction should be to amending the code to exempt schools and educational facilities. Do you want it to be as broad as educational facilities, or do you want to just leave it to, K through 12 public and private and charter schools? How far broad?
Because I envision that the new college that's coming here will be well in the excess of $20 million. Right. And we're going to force them to do art in public places instead of classrooms or instead of computers. Because they're going to do what they can to get the building built.
So is the consensus of the council to exempt educational facilities from our art and public places requirement? Yes, I mean, I don't need...
For me, yes. I mean,
Fair.
That's the council, I wish it...
For me as well.
It is for me.
Okay.
Got three that way, anyone else?
Okay, I'm seeing a consensus. Does anybody have a different view? Okay, we'll move ahead with the legislation in that way.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next item, LaLaye Sports Complex. Proposal for a cable wakeboard park. Discussion.
Good evening, Major, Vice Major, and Council. I promise that tonight we're going to be on the same page on the discussion that we're bringing to the table tonight. But this is something that we're all very excited at LaLaye Sports. It's very unique. It's something different. There are not many in the state of Florida. It's a cable water surfing park. Sometimes, it's like every time I mention the water surfing park to somebody, they wonder, well, how can you surf with a cable? But it's very simple. It's instead of a boat pulling you, it's going to be a cable that will pull either the surfer or the skier. I'm going to go ahead and give the floor now to Todd Arnold, which if everything falls into place like we want it to, he's going to be managing and running the cable park.
Mayor, council members, on behalf of Cable Skate, I would like to thank you and the City of Homestead for having both me and Enrique speak here tonight. LaLaye Sports Complex and I are very excited to be involved with you in this project. I'll start off by saying that Cable Skate is looking forward to calling Homestead, Florida our home. Mr. Mayor, we have compiled an elite team of professionals to make sure that this cable park is a success here in Homestead. including our partnership with the Lale Sports Complex, the Wake Park Project out of Orlando, and Aquatic Systems Management. My name is Todd Arnold, president of Cableskate, and I have been deeply involved with park design, operations, and the growth of the cable industry in North America for over 5 years. Cableskate is an independent amusement retailer whose mission is to construct safe, fun, and affordable cable facilities that offer a lifestyle of water sport activities and generate an economic draw to the surrounding communities. We at Cableskate are committed to expanding the progression of water sports to all, and by building a facility where no boat is needed to participate, it will open the doors to all Florida residents to come and enjoy. Our cable park will be first-class development and will be recognized as one of the top 5 wakeboard facilities in the country. It will be the first cable wakeboard park in Miami-Dade County and draw to national and international tourism that arrives in Miami to Homestead, Florida daily. At the Cableskate Park at Lale Sports Complex, we plan to include 2 SESI-Tech 2.0 cable systems, structures such as kickers and rails so that riders can do tricks, retail pro shop, rental equipment, personalized instruction, memberships, camps, a beachfront swim area, volleyball, and more. Cableskate has teamed up with the best in the business to design a park to be welcoming to beginner and daily riders, yet be challenging enough for professionals. Our partnership with Lale Sports Complex will allow us to work closely together to set up and promote events, form wakeboard clubs, start after school and summer camp programs. We view the Lale Sports Complex as a prime destination for family and sports enthusiasts, and like the City of Homestead, use a forward-thinking approach to both tourism and providing their residents with the best recreational services possible. Ronix and Liquid Force are the manufacturers who will supply us with all boards, vests, and helmets to ensure that our riders have the newest and best equipment on an annual basis. And Pat Panakis, owner of the Wake Park Project, who happens to be the U.S. distributor for SESI-Tech cables out of Germany, and board member for the World Wakeboard Association, has built parks all over the world and had this to say about our site here. We are really excited to be involved with Todd Arnold and the Cableskate Park for Homestead. He understands the wakeboard industry and how to create a next-level facility. We know that his cable park in South Florida is well needed and will be a world-class destination. With such great feedback for this park and the City of Homestead, Cableskate and the World Wakeboard Association have already gotten into agreements to host national tournaments, including tour stops from the Wake Park World Series, the Liquid Force Free-for-All Tour, and the Byerly Toe Jam. All of these national tour stops will be televised on Lale TV. The World Wake Park Series is broadcast on Fuel TV, and we will be published in national and international magazines. We will also host local events with the South Florida Wakeboard Association, and these tournaments will have a very positive impact on the sport, our facility, and most importantly, the community. Homestead, Florida is a place where the quality of life is higher, recreation is abundant, and education is on its rise. At Cableskate, we embrace these characteristics and want to reach out to youth groups and educational institutions to introduce them to the sport of wakeboarding. By starting wakeboard clubs, training camps, and after-school events, we anticipate holding multi-city and county intramural sporting competitions at Lale Sports Complex. The great thing about it is the Cableskate Cable Park is a controlled environment where we can offer it to ages 5 and up. With no limit of age. Many of you haven't seen such a unique park before, so we have put together a video that we'd like to show you, if we may.
Please.
Who's in charge of the video? You? Oh, okay.
My 16-year-old autistic son did something like this on Thursday. Oh. About
that allows you to take the sport into stretches of water that otherwise you wouldn't really be able to use to explore underwater, a boat or a jet ski. With the systems here, we've been able to get it right up next to the beach, right up like the people here, and the revolutionary idea of the systems is not only that we can get the professionals using it to set up light pull-outs out of boats, on land, but it just makes it so much easier and more learning in the very first time. You've got the payload there, so it gives you out the water, decision control from the driver on speed, so you can adjust it accordingly as it's outlined. You've got an instructor right there next to you on the drop. In this case, we've got a jet ski stuff as well, with the boys going alongside the rider.
I'll be back. In 6 weeks.
It just means it's a really controlled environment, it's cheap, easy, and accessible, and it only means good things to go forward.
Mayor, council members, thank you for the time to show that video. As you can see, it's a one-on-one instruction with our coaches, which is perfect for beginners, and it's a controlled environment, unlike a boat, behind a boat or out on the open water. And then the second half of the video, you saw that it's global. It's in Germany, Korea, Argentina, Russia, all across America. And it actually, cable wakeboarding is now entered on the 2020 Summer Olympic ballot, which will be voted on in 2013. So with the support and growth of the sport globally, it will be an Olympic sport. So that's pretty cool. Our team at Cable Skate lives and breathes wakeboarding, and our slogan is basically simple: let's just ride the cable. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to bringing this new and vibrant sport to the city of Homestead. We're now open for questions.
Okay, council, questions?
Mayor,
Yes, Vice Mayor.
I guess the immediate question that pops into my mind is, without us having the insurance problems resolved out there, how do we move forward with a project like this? We right now are the ones that are covering and carrying everything out there, and I think that hinders my ability to let this unique and fabulous opportunity go forward until Relay Sports steps up to the plate and comes back with a plan that they're going to stick to. I don't know how we move forward out there, and allow another, I'm not saying that this is dangerous, but our insurance would certainly go up, our risks would go up as a city. And until we have these insurance situations taken care of, I don't know how I move forward on this at this particular time. I can't. And I love it. And then the other thing I think we need to look at, and we all received a letter today, and it was brought to our attention late this afternoon, is where does this fall in the APZ2 zone out there? And the crash, and what are their final plans as to how big of a, quote unquote, I guess maybe a stadium or something. So we need to make sure that we'd all sit down and look. But the biggest problem for me right now is the lack of them coming forward with a solution to the insurance problem.
Ma'am?
Yes, may I say something first? You don't mind? I think it's two different issues, and I respect what Mr. Burgess is saying, but it's two completely different issues that really have nothing to do with each other. It's not a liability insurance. It's a replacement catastrophic damage to the facility insurance. We've asked, well, let me finish, we've asked Ms. Wallman to sit down with you. Have you all made any attempts to sit down and straighten and work that out?
Yes, ma'am. That's what I want to tell you.
Okay, fine, thank you.
Tuesday at 1 o'clock, we're having our meeting, and took a few days because we wanted to coordinate with the manager, the attorney, and the owner of Lale. So Tuesday at 1 o'clock, the meeting will happen. That's all I wanted to say.
And again, council, keep an open mind because it's two different complete issues. They're not running without liability insurance. I don't want that message to get out to our TV viewers or our audience here tonight. They do have general liability insurance. It's a replacement value, it's replacement cost of the facility. And I'm not arguing that we don't need it, but we are the owners of that facility. They are the renters of that facility. That's why I asked for it to be studied a little deeper and a little further. So let's not rain on this parade tonight, please. Let's keep open minds and move forward with, to me, an awesome asset added to that sports complex. An awesome asset.
Mayor.
I just returned from a 5-day cruise that I've been promising my wife for over a year, and we had to get through the election, so we finally went on the cruise. And what was the most popular thing on there? Wakeboard. The lines for hours to get on the wakeboard. And my 16-year-old autistic son was able to wakeboard with that facility they had. So it's a great, great thing. It's I'm not going to tell you it's not accident-free, because as an old man, it beat me up a little bit, but it is a very, very up-and-coming, very popular sport. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Sorry. Yeah. You know, when we receive these packages through our mail, I actually asked this to be placed on the agenda for discussion, and I just wanted I wanted to make sure that this organization came forward before the public to show what they could bring to the facilities. I know that there's some other discussions on the table, and I know that Councilman Waldman is working on that with the city, but I kind of take the same approach as you, was where it's a separate. Moving forward, we understand that we have to obviously resolve one before we move forward, but this really was to be brought forward as just a discussion. Let's open it up. Let's show what's available, what we can have down here, what could be a great recreational facility. We just tried to get bowling. Unfortunately, we couldn't get bowling. You know, we got to get some recreational sports down here in Homestead, so that we could stay, you know, our residents here could stay and enjoy, as opposed to always heading over to Miami and spending our money over there. We'll keep it here. So with that, I just wanted them to come forward as a discussion item. What I would like for them to do is definitely to meet with the council members, if that's the proper way. Meet with them, so that if we have any questions, that we would address it then in those meetings, and then we could move forward with staff and figuring out how we can make this work. Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, Mr. Shelley.
Mr. Mayor. As far as procedure goes tonight, I mean, what we're looking to do is just give you direction whether we like the idea as a concept. If we say, yeah, we like this, then there's still a process we're going through as far as developing, is it allowed, because the lease would have to be amended. There's a whole bunch of steps that would have to be accomplished. At this point, we're just kind of, are we open to the idea? Is that the question tonight?
We'll start getting the staff involved with asking the pertinent questions, making sure the air base gets addressed, their concerns get addressed, and then come back to you once we've gathered all the information so that you can make a final decision on whether you'd want to allow this or not.
Okay, because conceptually, I mean, I like the idea. I mean, in Orlando, I used to pass by one all the time. You know, I think I like the concept. I like the product. I think it would add something to the city that not many places nearby have. But I do think there's a lot of issues. I do think they are related as far as the insurance in this. I mean, because if they're currently in breach potentially of their lease, that's a big issue as far as going forward and expanding the use, and what are we going to do going forward. So I think they all tie together. But I am conceptually interested in learning more about this product. Is it something that might work out? But I do think we need to clear up the current issues we have with Lele as far as being a lessor there going forward before we get to adding new layers on top of it. Hopefully we get it all worked out and it ends up being a great thing, but conceptually I'm not opposed to it. Oh, and the other thing too is I want to make sure that we do keep the military more informed. I think we need to make sure our line of communications with them, anytime there's a product or project going forward that may affect them, I think we need to reach out to them versus just sending them generally a agenda. I think someone needs to identify that there is an issue they may be concerned about, reach out to them, be a good friend, notify them, and then let them take positions they want to take. But we need to make sure that we keep them informed and maintain good friends at the base here. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Shelley. Mr. Burgess.
Thank you, Mayor. And I, too, think this is a unique and fabulous opportunity for Homestead. I mean, it'd be a year-round thing. People would probably come here and train year-round. My point is, I think we need to clear the other issues up and make sure we've got some things resolved there. And it's nothing against the gentleman that's here presenting his product tonight, because my 5-year-old son wakeboards. My wife was in a junior Olympic water skier and wakeboarder, and every chance we get, we're on the lake up in the center part of the state, and we love it. I just want to make sure we get things cleared up and everybody's on the same page out there, and for the entire community, not just for the air base, but for the residents over there and everybody, and that we're well informed and that things are done orderly and properly. That's all I'm looking for, and that all problems are resolved over there, just like we ask when somebody comes into the building department, to make sure all their permits and everything are straight before we give them a CO or whatever. And that's all I'm asking. I'm not here to knock Lele Sports. I've been a big proponent of them. We received 3 different answers to the same question over the last month, and that kind of sent me in the wrong direction as to what's going on possibly out there. And until Councilwoman Waldman comes back with some resolution, as to who's doing what, that's all I'm asking for. And I thought maybe that this would be an opportunity for the city to have a little bit of bargaining power and get some answers and make sure they're coming to the tables, because I knew for a while we weren't having some communication there, and that's all I'm looking for, is to make sure they're going to communicate to us and all the residents as to what's going on out there. But I think conceptually this is a great idea and a great opportunity for Homestead to be put on the map. I mean, Abu Dhabi and Germany and places like that, and like I said, we would be probably a big training center in the winter for people that can't go anywhere. So, I mean, I support it. I just want to make sure Lele is following through with the contract that was signed.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Burgess. Mr. Fonfon.
Yes, I would just like to thank the operators of Lele Sports and Skate 8 Cable for being creative and thinking outside of the box as far as different recreational activities that we can bring to Homestead. The only concern that I have is with my colleagues raised as well. I invite you to sit down and meet with the representatives from the Homestead Air Reserve Base to ensure that what you're proposing to bring to the city of Homestead does not fall into that accident crash potential zone. So I invite you to meet with members of the base to ensure that we don't have any negative ramifications there.
Thank you, ma'am. Any further questions from council? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Lele. Thanks. Okay, we're going to move into the quasi-judicial portion.
Actually, we need the consent agenda first. I don't think we've approved the consent.
I'm sorry, we approved by it?
I don't, Madam Clerk, did we approve the consent agenda?
Did we approve the consent?
We did approve it?
Yes, we did.
Okay,
We
great.
did.
Rich.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, I'm not going to speak and take up your time, but I do have a letter from the Vice Commander who sent me out here tonight. If it's all right, I'd like to give it to your staff to pass around so all you can have a copy.
Please.
With their moves.
I won't read the letter and take up your time. In short, it just reiterates what those from your council said. We'd like them to work with us so we can ensure that, of course, it's compatible with the airport ordinance. That's all. Half of this does lie in accident potential zone 2, so we have a vested interest in that.
Sure.
That's all. I thank you all very much this evening.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, as I said, we'll move into the public hearing of the quasi-judicial portion of our agenda. Richard, you want to read all that legal stuff?
Please be advised that the following items on the agenda are quasi-judicial in nature. If you wish to comment on any of these items, please indicate the item number you'd like to address when the announcement regarding the quasi-judicial item is made. An opportunity for persons to speak on each item will be made available after the applicant and staff has made their presentations on each item. All testimony, including public testimony and evidence, will be made under oath or affirmation. Additionally, each person who gives testimony may be subject to cross-examination. If you do not wish either to be cross-examined or sworn, your testimony will be given its due weight. The general public will not be permitted to cross-examine witnesses, but the public may request the council to ask questions of staff or witnesses on their behalf. The full agenda package on each item is hereby entered into the record. Persons representing organizations must present evidence of their authority to speak for the organization. Further details of the quasi-judicial procedures may be obtained from the clerk. In accordance with Code Section 2591, any lobbyist must register before addressing the council on any of the following items. At this time, council members must disclose any ex parte communications concerning these items on the agenda. At this time, the clerk will swear any persons who wish to testify in any quasi-judicial item.
Please stand. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name, hereby swear or affirm that the information I present shall be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Thank you. You may be seated.
Item 1 is the final order of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting a waiver of location requirements and a certificate of use to allow the operation of a banquet hall with on-premises consumption of alcohol located at 17 Northeast First Road. It's legally described in Exhibit A and providing for an effective date.
Motion. To move. Thank you. Second.
Second.
Thank you. Staff report.
Yes, sir. Staff recommends that the mayor and council approve the certificate of use with conditions and waiver of location requirements, which would allow the Girasol Banquet Hall to serve alcohol for on-premises consumption. The condition being that alcohol may not be sold or supplied to the patrons by the owner of the establishment. This applicant is proposing to use an existing building as a banquet hall and to allow the service of alcohol in conjunction with the use. The service of alcohol is regulated by the licensing authority of the state and by the city through Chapter 3 of the City Code. The city's regulations as it relates to banquet halls include restrictions on the sale of alcohol not being sold or supplied by the establishment to its patrons, certificate of use criteria, location requirements, and limits on the hours of operation. Staff has determined that the proposed use will be compatible with the adjoining properties. Based on a survey submitted by the applicant, the building is closer than 400 feet from the Pentecostals of Homestead Church and Sue's Creative Corner Preschool, necessitating that waiver. We have determined that the applicant has satisfied the criteria granting the waiver of location requirements set forth in the code, and they have satisfied the criteria relative to certificate of use.
Thank you, sir. Questions from council?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Just get one for in our packet that we were looking at, where the red outline is, basically is where the old news leader used to be. Is that the building that we're talking about? Which would be, where the Pentecostal church is now. Is the facility within the church, or is it next door? Where is it as opposed? I'm trying to look. I know the building. I'm just trying to see, where that banquet hall is.
The applicant will answer that. It's next door, I believe.
Right. So it would be the preschool and then
Yeah, well, they're right there. They're in close proximity to one another. They're within the 400 feet boundary. And the issue is here that they operate at different times. So when the church is operating, when the school's operating, this facility wouldn't be. This is more of a nighttime activity, and therefore it's operating when those other guys aren't. And we thought it was compatible in that respect.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Did you want to answer? I thought it would may answer your question. Ms.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, name and address.
Yes, my name is Jose E. Hernandez. I represent Girasol Banquet Hall. And again, Mr. Mayor and Councilman, thank you for allowing me to bring this business into Homestead. I'd like to clarify, the church is to the far south end, and it's an individual building. It's approximately around 400 feet away from the facility.
So it's not connected anywhere?
No, it's not connected in any way.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because I'm just kind of thinking there's another banquet hall where that's kind of a church banquet hall. So I'm wondering, is that the same concept here? And wanted to get some clarification. So yeah. Thank you.
And also, I'm sorry, I'd like to comment on one more thing. And the daycare is excluded from code because it's not a preschool. It's not as a preschool, so it's excluded from code. The other waiver that I asked for is it is a preschool, the other one, and that is on a separate road, and it's about 400 somewhat square feet of distance, yeah, from the banquet hall. Just moment.
Okay, I'll just have to start from scratch. I thought it was the block, the old news leader building. They may be different buildings, but I thought, I mean, they all look connected to me. And the address is the address on the back door of the news leader building, because I went over there.
They're all in that same area. I mean, I don't believe they're the same building. They look like separate buildings, but they're all in that same.
But it's that block that they're all on that block. They're all connected. But they all look like they're connected.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I asked you.
Yeah, but I don't believe they are connected. I mean, I think they're separate buildings. The analysis that we went through is that they are within the 400, they're within the distance that is an issue. And so we evaluated, and again, we thought that because they operate at different times, that they satisfy the waiver of distance criteria.
Okay, my real question is, if you're not going to serve the liquor or the wine, who's going to serve it?
Well, to your question, the patrons, they will bring in the liquor. We will staff employees, bartenders, waiters, to serve the liquor on behalf of the patrons. That's what a banquet hall does.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Excuse me, I got a question for staff. You said that the hours of operation don't go the same, but yet the proposed business schedule is 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. Monday through Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. on Sundays.
Typically, those are the hours of operation. Typically, this thing will operate in the evening.
Typically, but if we wanted to make sure it wasn't operating with no alcohol during the school hours or something like that, we could...
You could prohibit the operation until after the school let out. You could do that.
I mean, hopefully nobody there at 8 a.m. drinking anyway.
Well,
right. Yeah, it's not right. I mean, any other questions, council? Public comment?
Edward Powell, 745 Southeast 18th Lane. As chair of Planning and Zoning, we heard this a couple weeks ago. And from a standpoint of where that is in the area, nothing's ever happened in their recent history other than Mr. Councilman Maldonado moving his business over there. But there was only one other banquet hall, and that's over here in Galileo Plaza. And Little Angels have had their Halloween parties, and we've had a lot of functions. And we basically need, I think, another banquet hall
It operates the same way there. We rent it. An outside company comes in, they cater the food, they carry the beverages, they bring in a disco or DJ, and it's a beautiful place over there. And where this is over here, I mean, it's in the Pioneer District, it's part of the historic area, and it would be wonderful to have that thing come alive. And that would be part of it. It's a nighttime, weekend, possibly operation. It's not a bar, it's not ongoing day in and day out. I think it makes sense, and I just wanted to let you know that. Thank you.
Any other comments from the public? Any final comments from council? Concerns?
I'm just...
Mr. Williams?
Yeah, just logistically trying to see where this building... Is this where the news leader used to be?
Yes.
It's in the same building? Did they take ownership of where the news leader was?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a daycare in that same building, right?
Yes, there is a daycare to the right hand of the building where the banquet hall is going to be at.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but the building is connected. It's in the same building?
It's in the same building. The church is separate from the building where the daycare, which is exempt. The daycare is not an issue. It's exempt from code. I'm not asking for a waiver of the daycare. The daycare is not considered a preschool.
Oh, it's not?
It may not be a school, but it's a use that we have children in. I'm considering the waiver of distance to be for both of those things, and again,
But they're in the same building.
Is it? I thought we were in two different buildings. There's several buildings.
You're in the same building that the daycare is in, right? Yes or no?
No. It's a separate building. It's divided. It's not connected by any means of any door or anything like that.
Sir, perhaps if you use the monitor behind you and showed the councilman what building everything is located in, that would help clarify it for him and everybody else.
This one here is the church.
He's pointing to the front one is the church.
That there is the daycare, which you can see.
The day.
This is a separate building, which is taller. This is where the banquet hall is.
Okay.
On the east side of the property, Councilman Williams.
Okay.
Any other questions? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Wallman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fairclough McCormick?
Yes.
Councilman Shelley?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
No.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Next item, City Attorney.
A final order of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting certificate of use to allow operation of a drugstore pharmacy on premises, with on-premises sales of beer and wine located at 1820 North Canal Drive as legally described in Exhibit A, and providing an effective date.
I'll entertain a
So
motion. Moved. Is there a
Second.
Second, thank you. Staff report, please.
Yes, sir. Staff recommends the mayor and council approve the final order granting a certificate of use which will allow Walgreens to sell beer and wine for off-premises consumption only. The sale of beer and wine from this retail store would be considered an accessory use, so the principal use is a drugstore and a pharmacy. The certificate of use criteria are set forth within Chapter 3, Section 3/11 of the City Code. We've determined as staff that the proposed uses will be compatible with the adjoining properties, and the applicant has satisfied the criteria for the certificate of use in the code.
Questions from council? Would the applicant like to say anything?
Sure. Good evening, Mr. Vice Mayor, members of council. Rob Lewis with the law firm of Gray Robinson at 1221 Brickell Avenue, Miami. On behalf of the applicant, Walgreen Co., we'd just like to thank you for the opportunity with respect to the new location in Homestead. We also want to put on the record that we agree with the staff report and the staff recommendations that the applicant does meet the criteria set forth in City Code Section 3-11 for a certificate of use.
Thank you. Anything else, sir?
That's
Any comments from the public?
Real quick comment, it's in our neighborhood. I don't know if you've been in there. I've snuck in there to see if they weren't going to try to jump the gun, and they do not have beer and wine in there yet. So they're playing it square.
Keep waiting.
Thank you for that comment.
Keep waiting.
One of the applicants here, and this goes a little bit off where we're at on this, but we had some concerns about the lighting. Did we ever get an answer for the citizens that had called about the lighting and were a concern?
We are pulling the light lumens, the specs for that. We're going to make sure that they conform to code, and if they do not, we will make sure that they mitigate the issue. So we're in the process of checking it out and making it conform. You're welcome.
Would anybody else like to, any other comments from the council?
I'll just say that I can walk over there, ride my bike over there. It's wonderful, and congratulations. We're having a grand opening soon. I'm working with one, so.
Thank you very much.
Yes, one other comment from the public. Go ahead.
Yeah, Yvonne Knowles, 1697 North GoldenEye in the villages of Homestead. We've been looking forward to the completion of this project. We're very, very excited about it. I just have one small caveat. I'm concerned that we do have a big school right next door to this facility, and that there aren't any open container alcohol coming out of that establishment with children. We have, we're up to, I think, 800 children at the Gateway Environmental K-8 school, and I'm just, the issue I'm concerned about, I don't know where the code is on this, but alcohol sales right next to a school. I mean, this school is right next to this Walgreens, so that's the only concern I have.
If I can address that comment, Walgreens is seeking a beer and wine license, a 2APS, which is for off-premise consumption only, so it's the package sales. And I believe that there's a county ordinance that prohibits consumption within so many feet of a package store. Also, under the city code, a drugstore is exempt from distance requirements with respect to the sale of alcohol as well.
Thank you, sir. Any further comments?
Just for clarification, so there's, and I think that might be the one concern where no one could go in and kind of, you know how you have the racks with your Red Bull and all that no one's going to be able to grab a single beer. We're going to sell it in a package, 12-pack, or, you know, in that way. Or is it singles? And I think that might be the concern of they're going to be singles as well. So I could go in there, grab a 40 and run out. And I think that'd be the concern, being next to a school.
I honestly don't know whether or not it's the business model. I think most Walgreens stores sell 6-packs as well as individuals, but they don't sell like the pony cans of beer to my knowledge. It's the 12 fluid ounce bottles of beer and cans and wine, which would be a small component of the retail drugstore.
Any final questions from the public? Hearing no final questions from the public, we'll close the public hearing and now final questions from council. Hearing none, seeing none, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Councilwoman Fairclough McCormick?
Yes.
Councilman Shelley?
No.
Councilman Williams?
No.
Councilman Maldonado?
If I may.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
You can't.
Well, here's the only thing before, I guess the roll call's already going, so it's either yes or no.
Go down with the comment.
My only last comment would have been, you know, I'm okay with it if it's packaged and it's going, but if it have singles, that's my concern. So if that's the case,
I can proffer that. If it were to persuade council.
We're in the middle of a vote now, so
sorry, no.
you're not.
Sorry.
Who's the next person? Mr. Maldonado?
No.
Councilwoman Woolman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
I said no.
No? Okay, the motion carries.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Richard, tab 11.
Next item is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead granting site plan approval for approximately 4,189 square feet of restaurant building and further granting a sign variance from Code of Ordinance for Panera Bread located within the City of Homestead Pavilion Shopping Center north of 312th Street, Campbell Drive. east of Southwest 157th Avenue, east of northwest of the Homestead extension of Florida Turnpike, as legally described in Exhibit A, providing for an effective date.
Motion. Thank you. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Patricia. Staff?
It's recommended that the mayor and council approve the resolution granting site plan approval and the sign variance requested by Panera Bread. This will enable the construction of the facility on the undeveloped out parcel located within Homestead Pavilion Shopping Center, providing a restaurant with the signage necessary to adequately identify it to potential patrons. The application for site plan for the restaurant with a drive-through service window and open-air dining area was reviewed based on the city code. The applicant is in compliance with the use and development standards within the retail commercial district, which is B2. The applicant is also, as he said, seeking a sign variance to allow for a third wall sign on the building, where the city code only permits 2 wall signs. This includes wall signs on the east, south, and west walls in order to maximize the opportunities for patrons to easily locate the restaurant. The variance criteria is also set forth within the code section 30-42. The application has been evaluated based on that criteria, and we believe that a hardship does exist related to the specifics of this property regarding the lack of visibility of the site from Campbell Drive and 157th Avenue. We've determined that the literal interpretation of the city code would deprive the applicant of the visual identity enjoyed by others sharing similar circumstances. So this hardship is not self-created, and the resulting variance is the minimum necessary that we could grant.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Questions from council?
Mayor,
Yes.
how soon can you be open? I'm serious.
My name is William Arthur. I represent the architect for Panera Bread. Panera Bread is actually here tonight. 2 representatives, and I'd like to introduce them.
Please.
Did they bring samples? Some of my favorites.
Formality, my address is 11712 Southwest 81st Road, Miami, Florida, 33156. As I said, represent the architect for Panera Bread, and just to elaborate on Mr. Cordino's mentionings, is we're going to be in the center of Homestead Pavilion Shopping Center. We're surrounded by both pedestrian movement and vehicular movement on all sides. We have a parking lot on one side. By right, we're allowed 2. We're respectfully requesting only 3 wall signs. Similar properties have requested 4 in the past, but as I said, we're only requesting the 3rd to assist patrons in locating our store when they're in other portions of the shopping center. As you can see, we're in the center there.
So we modified the motion?
I don't know if staff has a comment on that.
Okay.
Request the extra.
Staff? I'm confused.
Can you repeat what
They want 3. They proposed for 2, they want 3.
They're getting 3.
They're getting 3.
That's what's in here.
Yeah.
He said sometimes he asks for 4.
3. Other applicants have requested 4. We're only requesting 3.
It's part of it itself.
Yeah.
I think we're good with it. Yeah. Any questions from council? Okay, I'll open the public hearing to the public. Questions from the public? Please come forward. Hearing none, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Final questions from council. Madam Clerk?
Councilman Shelley?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fairclough McCormick?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Okay, tab 13. Richard, you want to read this?
Mr. Mayor, sorry, these are 2 grants. I can read them together. You can vote on them together.
Sure.
Resolution of the City Council, City of Homestead, Florida, accepting a grant award and authorizing execution, implementation, and renewal of an agreement for intervention service between the City of Homestead and START Off Smart Program and providing an effective date. Resolution of the City Council, City of Homestead, Florida, accepting a grant award, authorizing execution, implementation, renewal of an agreement of youth, after-school, and summer programs between the City of Homestead and South Dade Weed and Seed Program, and providing an effective date. Tabs 12 and 13.
Okay, motion to move it?
I move.
Second. Okay. Staff report?
Mayor, we'll start with the first one. Start Off Smart has been working collaboratively with the Homestead Police Department since 1991. SOS provides comprehensive services to victims and families who have been impacted by violence. domestic violence, child abuse, sexual abuse, elderly abuse, etc. In October 2011, SO obtained their 501c3 status and employs case managers and victim advocates to provide the aforementioned services. The services in the amount of $500,000 are paid through various grantor agencies. This contract is for a one-year period beginning on January 16, 2012 and ending December 31st, 2012. Staff's recommendation, the mayor and council approve the attached resolution authorizing city manager to enter into an agreement with Start Off Smart in order to purchase social services case management services for victim of violence in conjunction with the Homestead Police Department. Second one is regarding the South Dade Weed and Seed, which provides after-school tutoring, counseling, and organized sporting activities to youth who live in the city of Homestead. The activities occur at the Curtis Ivy Police Athletic League and are operated in conjunction with the Homestead Police Athletic League officer. Approximately 50 youth between the ages of 6 through 12 are currently enrolled in the program. Hours of operation are Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. through 7 p.m. During the summer, operational hours are Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. There are 50 enrollees in the summer program, and funding for the program totaling $53,117.68 is provided to the City of Homestead by the Children's Trust. Staff's recommendation, the mayor and council approve the attached resolution authorizing city manager to enter into an agreement with South Dade Weed and Seed, Inc. in order to purchase after-school and summer programs at the Police Athletic League facility.
Okay, questions from council?
I just have a quick question, Mayor.
Sure.
I'm under tab 13, Exhibit A, under Scope of Services, and I just have a quick question. I see that you host a summer program for our children, our babies over there in the Southwest. Sandra Nanny, the grant writer extraordinaire over there. Do you hire certified teachers for that program?
Yes, we do. We've had, well, really, they're school social workers that are also certified teachers, and they've been working in that program for about 15 years.
Would Tony Clark be one of them?
Yes,
Okay.
and Alva Bowen.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Any further questions from council? Okay, we'll open the public hearing. Any questions from the public? Please come to the podium. Hearing none, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Any final questions from council? Okay, Madam Clerk, call the roll for both tabs, and one time we'll vote. Right? Yes, sir. Okay, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Maldonado?
Yes.
Councilwoman Warman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faircloth McCormick?
Yes.
Councilman Shelley?
Yes.
Mayor Bateman?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And that concludes our business, and now we'll quickly go to City Manager. Business from City Manager.
A lot more meeting ahead of us, Mayor, so
I hear you.
I'll pass on that one.
Thank you. City Attorney?
No, sir.
Okay, Councilwoman Faircloth McCormick.
Yes, very briefly. I just wanted to announce that I'm very excited about launching my constituent days with Councilwoman Faircloth McCormick in the Oasis community. I'm working with the management company for the Oasis Clubhouse on mutually beneficial dates for me to host these meetings in the Oasis community. So as soon as I have all of the logistics for that, I will be sure to share that information with everyone. In addition to that, we're moving full steam ahead with our quest to acquire an internal auditor. We've received applications from a couple applicants, as well as we've reached out to several firms. As soon as I have some solid information as far as that task that I've been charged with, I'll be sure to share that with you as well. That's all I have for this month.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilman Williams. That's it. All right, Mr. Maldonado.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few items. I have a question to the city manager, to Mr. Brea. We had some requests from the Waterstone community in reference to extend the trolley down 137, and basically asked if you could look into it, see if it's running, if it's possible. Can you give us an update on our status? And also, if it's up and running, which I believe it is, can we make sure that we have stats to make sure that it's working, if it is in place? And I don't know if there's a way to let our residents know in the Waterstone area of that trolley that is up and running, because something we were worked on. Go ahead.
Councilwoman Maldonado, we are ready to move forward with that as soon as the council gives us an okay to move. The one thing that I did mention last time is that it will add some additional wait times because it's making the route a little bit longer. But we measured those times and they're under 5 minutes, so we think that additional time is not that big of an issue. So if the council's wish is for us to move in that direction, we can do so.
And so that for the council would know, basically, we reached out to the manager and Mr. Brea and got some phone calls from our community over in the Waterstone area. There are many residents that live over towards close to 280 to 137 that would like to use the trolley facility, the trolleys, and basically so ask for a study, mini study to be done to see if it's possible and if it's something that could help our community out. If we would okay to extend this bus route, what I would like to do is make sure that it is effective, they are using it, and if they're not, then we just go back to a regular route. I did get many calls for this request, so if we do move forward with this, then we'd make sure that our community would know about it through our PIO officer, through our resources within the community to make sure that information gets out to them.
Absolutely, and I'd like to add that we will request the drivers to keep count of the people that are in that stop so that we can offer you that information as well, so that if we see that people aren't really using it, then maybe we do something else, use another spot.
So with the council's okay, I would like to extend this bus route over to, how far does it go down? Is it towards the entrance, the other entrance, or it's halfway, or?
We can go to, there's two entrances on 137th Avenue. There's one that's closer to Campbell Drive. Obviously that one, the way, the additional length of driving will be less. Or we can take it all the way to the main entrance, which is further north. It's up to the council to tell us which one you prefer.
They asked basically for the other entrance off of closer to 288th Street. Again, I just like to emphasize if we do go that route that we pay close attention, give it a time frame so that we know that we're effective and it's working. Give it also time so that the people know and take full advantage of it. And I think it'll better serve our community.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Also to Julio, to the manager. Just an update. When I drive through the city, I'm constantly seeing many residents are either sitting on the floor or on anywhere else but a bus bench. We have many bus benches throughout our city, bus locations throughout our city, and I know that there was some discussion where we were going to work with Miami-Dade County to get some bus benches. Where are we at on that? And if for some reason we're not moving forward with that, can we look at alternative organizations, companies that do provide bus benches with advertising? I know I've seen it up in Miami Beach, and just tired of seeing a resident sitting on the floor waiting for that bus.
Well, actually, the county has started that project already, the construction of that project. They're going through the cities. We are the third city that's going to be started. They started with Miami Lakes, and I believe North Miami Beach. We're the next ones online, which according to the county project manager, they should be starting on that project at the end of February, the actual construction of the bus benches.
Do we have a count on how many bus benches?
We're getting 40.
40? Okay, thank you. Please keep us up to date on that so we can continue to pass this information to our residents. Wanted to ask an update on the new website status. I just followed up. We, just so that the council would know, a few months ago, with the city manager, with Begonia, as soon as she came on board, the whole concern, me, my background in technology, wanted to make sure that we had a website that was effective, and asked the city manager and Begonia, our PIO, Public Information Officer, to look into either revamping our website, updating it, and with that, we got to work. She has brought a great company forward, and we're working on it, so I just wanted to get an update and see where we're at with that.
And Council?
Mayor and Council, last week I sent an email to all of you with a very detailed update on the website project, and a timeline, a month-to-month timeline. Today, I requested meetings with all of you individually so that I can give you each an update on the website and where the design is going. We're moving forward. I've been meeting with each department to get the content, and we're currently deciding on the navigation bar and collecting all the content information for the website. So we're moving forward.
Thank you. I would encourage our elected officials to take the time to put their input here. You want to put your finger on it. I think it's a great program. Once you've seen it, you're going to be impressed and the way it benefits our city and gives information. So I love technology, and this is going to be a great thing for the city. So thank you, Begonia. Thank you, City Manager, for that. Question in reference to, I've got a few complaints, even though it's not my neck of the woods. Homestead is my neck of the woods. So there is a question in front of BJ's. There is a drainage canal. The question is, who's in charge of it? And the concern is basically, seems to be stagnant water that smells or infected or not healthy. Who's in charge of that? Is that ours? And if it's not ours, whose is it and who's taking care of it? And where we at with that?
That ditch is on private property.
It's on private property?
Yeah.
So it would be the owner of that private property be managing that? Is there any requirements that we make sure that they're in compliance with it, code enforcement? Just please have them look into it and speak to the landowner and see what we could do to help that out. And my last question was, sorry, I've been out and there's a lot of things on my mind. And it was just to piggyback off of, I wanted to get an update with the auditor, and I think you, Councilwoman McCormick, Faircloth McCormick, and following up with that. Many of our residents have been asking me for that, so I'd like to see that come to fruition as well. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and staff.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Wallman.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll try to make this very, very quick. Just a reminder that the 4th Annual Biscayne Everglades Greenway Bike Festival is February 25th and 26th. We're expecting quite a few people. Please go to our city website, and you'll find information on there. I've been hanging out a lot at the dog park, the new one at on the east side of the highway, and I can tell you that it's being used quite a lot, and I've had a lot of good ideas people have been suggesting. So we're having a meeting next Tuesday with Parks and Recs. We're going to talk about some of that stuff and bring it back to you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you.
Also, we're going to meet Richard Vega and his department, and Barbara, we're going to meet next Tuesday as well. Tuesday's going to be my day. And we're going to talk about customer service and all the things. We're going to be doing some new hirings. And Mayor, I'll bring you back a report. Excuse me, I've got a little tickle here. Just wanted to tell you that the Parks and Recs Department has converted the skateboard park in Harris Field to basketball, and it's beautiful. If you haven't had a chance to go by there, it's really, really nice. And I'll just leave all the other stuff. I just want to say, go Giants! Anchel played really, really well. Can't wait. So, congratulations to you.
Thank you, Councilman Wallman. Councilman Shelley. Okay, Councilman, come back now. Okay, I just got a couple small items, and one is I want to compliment. Oh, Vice Mayor, sorry.
I'm sorry about that. All right. A couple of quick things, if I could. I've had a lot of questions about a stoplight coming at 137 and 328, where we've had a lot of horrible traffic accidents. Mr. Brea has informed me that the county is indeed getting ready to install a traffic light out there to help the situation out. So for those residents that have been concerned about that, that is on the way to help slow people down out there and take care of the intersection that has become one of our most dangerous, I believe. And in lieu of time tonight, but I do want to leave my colleagues with one thought. I've been looking around, and several years back we thought about putting the solid waste on the tax roll so that we made sure they were collected. And in doing my research, the staff has given me a number that was pretty astonishing to me. $1.9 million is 365 days delinquent. If we were to put that on the tax roll, that $1.9 million would be accounted for one way or another, where we wouldn't have to chase it around town. So in lieu of time tonight, I'll leave it at that, but I would love for the rest of my colleagues to please reach out to Mr. Brea if he could get the information he's given me, and that Mr. Estrada got together through the manager, and give it to them so that my colleagues can learn this, and maybe perhaps when we have a little more time at the meeting next month, like we can bring it up and have a discussion, because I think it will be a lengthy one, but I think it's something that we need to look at, because that is an outstanding amount of money in my eyes that can do a lot of great things for this city that we're just leaving out there uncollected. And I'll leave it at that tonight, and hopefully next month we can have a discussion on it, and everybody will have the information. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, sir. Thank you. Mr. Williams?
No, Mayor, I'm waiting for the next meeting.
Thank you, I'm ready. Real quick, I just want to compliment staff in the Southwest Advisory Committee, both on the Martin Luther King Parade and breakfast. It was a home run. It was well attended. The speaker was phenomenal, and thank you for your hard work that you put into that. Also today, I was invited out to FPNL, Florida Power and Light Power Plant, along with the mayor from Dade County and the mayor from Florida City. It was well attended by the media. Probably every TV station that exists, Latin and Anglo both, were there present. Several hundred people. And the discussion was the recent overhaul of the existing nuclear plant. We have 1,000 people right now currently staying from North Dade to the Florida Keys. By 30 days from now, they'll have over 4,000 additional employees. So we'll have 5,000 people visiting our city for the next 120 days. And I think that is unbelievable. $11 million a month impact to this community. So my hat's off to FPNL, and they do it, and they do it in a fine way. So I think that all of us, once the regulatory commission finalizes everything, hopefully we can move into stage 2, which is the new nuclear power plant of 4 and 5, or 5 and 6, I forget which one it is, 5 and 6, which will bring an additional 4,000 people and leave behind 400 permanent jobs. So I think we're on the move in the right direction with the power industry anyway. And with that said, I'd like to bring this meeting to an end because we have an additional meeting after this. So,
Motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Sure. Whatever you want.